Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Thank you all for being here for a session of the overview of the TOEFL IBT test. And I'm hoping that you are hearing clear and crystal the way I'm talking right now. So my name is Adiane Blum. I am the Associate Director of the ETS, Educational Testing Service, which is an institution that administers and that created and administers the TOEFL IBT and other tests like GRE and TOEIC and TOEFL ITP. So, on behalf of ETS, I would like to welcome everybody from Education USA in Chile. I am talking with you directly from Brasilia in Brazil. I live here and I work for ETS and I am responsible for the country. I coordinate the TOEFL IBT test in Brazil, but we also give support to other countries such as Chile and Argentina and other countries, South American countries. So as I said, I'm talking with you directly from Brazil, and I would like to share with you before we start, I would like to share with you some upcoming TOEFL webinars. They are led by Latin America ETS directors. So tomorrow, August 1st, we have another webinar led by ETS Director Ines Torres. On the 24th, I will be leading another webinar, and this is for Education USA here in Brazil. And on the 25th, I will be delivering another webinar for a university, public university here in Brazil. But you all welcome to attend, okay? So feel free to share the links that I will be sharing in the end, okay, on the chat box. So what we are covering today in this webinar, we're going to talk about the TOEFL IBT Special Home Edition, uh, which is a new version of a new edition of the TOEFL IBT in which you can take the test from home, okay? Due to COVID situation, we know that many schools around the world are closed. So in order for you keep your dreams on track, ETS developed this TOEFL Home Edition so you don't miss the opportunity to follow your dreams and take the TOEFL IBT to present the scores to the university that you apply. So we're going to be talking about eligibility, registrations, and rescheduling, requirement, and accommodations for this home edition. Will also be talking about the TOEFL IBT test in general, okay, such as the structure, scores, preparation tips, and resources. And we will have around 15 to 20 minutes for questions. So if you have questions, please take notes of the questions that you have. And if we don't cover the content here of your question, we will respond to it in the end of the presentation. Okay. Okay, so what is the TOEFL IBT test? So uh, this test is a computer delivered test, okay, that measures academic English proficiency, okay, and it measures all four language skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Academic English, 100% of academic, okay, content is covered on the TOEFL IBT, okay? And it's used, the integrated questions are also used on the speaking and writing parts of the test. You can use the TOEFL IBT for admissions into colleges and universities in more than 150 countries, okay, where courses are taught in English, including Australia, UK, New Zealand, Canada, all across Latin America, Europe, and Asia. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So I have a very short video here of the TOEFL IBT test structure that I really love to you would love you to watch it. So it's very short, okay, just for you to have an idea for those who haven't taken the test yet, who are not studying for the TOEFL but are curious about the structure of the test. So I am going to play, and I'm hoping that it works. It's just 1 minute video, so let's do it.
Before you take your TOEFL IBT test, make sure you understand how it is structured. The test has 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing, and takes about 3 hours. First is the reading section. It has 3 academic reading passages, each with 10 multiple choice questions. Next is the listening section. It has 5 listening passages. 3 are academic lectures with 6 questions each, and 2 are campus conversations with 5 questions each. Your test may include additional unscored questions for reading or listening, but never both. Then there is a 10-minute break. After the break is the speaking section. There are 4 tasks, and you speak your responses into the headset microphone. Last is the writing section, which has 2 essays that you type into the computer. All 4 sections use real academic content, so you can prove you are ready for the English language demands of a university.
All right. So for more information on the on TOEFL IBT structure, so this is the link. Okay, as a link of the official website, TOEFL website, and I will be sharing all these links. Okay, the links that I'm presenting during the webinar, I'm going to share them on the chat box. Okay. Okay, so since August 2019, ETS has made some improvements on the TOEFL IBT test, and I'm going to talk about the biggest improvement, okay, on the TOEFL IBT, which is the My Best Scores. My Best Scores, it's an option that you have when you take the TOEFL IBT, okay, that if you take the TOEFL IBT more than one time, you now can choose the best scores that you took in these 2 tests and send to the institutions, okay? So how does that work? What does this mean for you? It means that, for example, you have here took the test 2 times, test date 1 and test date 2, okay? And for example, this is an example of a student, a test taker that needed to show a score 80, okay, out of 120 to the institutions. So in the first time of the test, the first test, he didn't get the 80. He got 76, 76. Neither on the second one, because in the second one, he got a total score of 78. But then when he combined the best scores in these 2 tests, he got an 81. So this is now an option that the test taker has, okay, to um, to improve their scores, okay, in order to how can I say, to make it easier for the test takers when they take more than one. Okay, and if they don't get the right score, they can combine their best scores from two or three tests that they take. All right, so let's start talking about the TOEFL IBT Special Home Edition. Okay, it's actually exactly the same test that you take at a testing center. Okay, you know that in Santiago and in other cities of Chile, in other states of Chile, you have testing centers. Okay, and you can take the TOEFL IBT from testing centers. But right now, with the COVID situation, most of these schools are closed, and testing centers are usually located in within facilities, within schools. And since these schools are closed, now you have the option to take the test from home. Okay, it's the same content and format, same on-screen experience, same features like my best score, same price and payment options, and same scoring and score reports. The only difference is that now, the first one, you are taking the test from home. Okay, so then you use your own equipment. Okay, and for security reasons, you are monitored online by a human proctor. Okay, when you go to a testing center, a physical testing center, there is a person there, a proctor that that remains in the room all the time of the test. So now, when you take the test from home, now this person will be online monitoring the tests. So let's talk about eligibilities, requirements, and accommodation for you to take the TOEFL IBT at home. So where and when is the test available? Worldwide. So everywhere where the TOEFL IBT is normally available, the home edition is available, except for mainland China and Iran. Okay, so you can take it in Chile. Okay, um, so you can take the test everywhere, the home edition. Okay, so test sessions are available around the clock, 4 days per week. Okay, and until September 30th, the home edition will be available. Okay, from Sunday through Wednesdays every week. Okay, from Sunday to Wednesday, you can take the test. You will find available dates for you to take the test. Okay, uh, all rescheduling for those who schedule their test for a testing center, but this test was canceled due to the pandemic situation. You can reschedule it to take it from home. Okay, and fees to reschedule the test are waived through August 31st, which means that you don't have to pay to reschedule your test to take it from home. Okay, all right, so let's talk about the equipment requirements. First thing, computer. You will need a computer, of course, to take your test. Okay, to take your special home edition, TOEFL special home edition. And this computer needs to be either desktop or laptop. Okay, which means that you cannot take it from your cell phone, from your tablet or iPad. Okay, uh, OS, operational systems. If you have a PC, it has to be a Windows versions 10, 8, or 7. And if you have a Mac, you need to run it on a X 10.5 or higher, okay, version. And for the browsers, you can use either Chrome or Firefox. Microphone and speakers are two very important equipments for you to have during your TOEFL IBT special home edition. So they can be either internal or external. Okay. The right now I'm talking with you from my using my laptop, and this laptop has both has the camera and the microphone and the speakers. They are all internal. Okay, but there are other laptops that don't come with this equipment, so you can have them external. Okay, you can use those. There are externally plugged with an USB. Okay, but you cannot use here, for security reasons, you cannot use a headset or an earphone. Okay, because these equipment, they will cover your ear, your head, your hair. So you don't want to use anything that looks suspicious for the monitor, for the person who will be monitoring your test. So avoid to use these equipments. Okay. Right now I'm using an earphone to do this work here, but for the test that I took at home, I didn't use it. So yeah, I used the equipment there are in my computer. Okay. What about the camera? Camera is another equipment that you will need it for the whole time of your home test. Okay. Because first, the test will be recorded. Okay. Uh, and you also will need, you have to show a 360-degree view of the room that you chose to take the test. Okay, the proctor, the person who will monitor the test, he needs to see to take a look, to have a view of your room, of the place that you chose to take the test. So you're going to do that twice, in the beginning of the test and after the break. Okay, you saw on the video that there is a break after the listening part. So when you get back from this break, the monitor will ask you to do this 360-degree view of the room. Okay, I took my test. When I took it back in April. I took it in April. I used my living room to take the test. Okay, and I had to do this view 2 times. So let's talk about accommodations, special accommodations for those people with disabilities and health-related needs. So for both testing centers and home edition, the TOEFL IBT has uh, offers special accommodations for those people with disability and health needs. So you need to order, you need to you need to request these accommodations prior to your test. Okay, before you take the test, you need to request these accommodations, and you just go here on the disabilities test takers to request them. So it's important to know that before you register for the home edition, you need to make sure that you have the right equipment for you to take the test. Okay, you don't want to have any type of technical issue during your test. Okay, so it's really, really important that you um, make sure that you have the right equipment, that make sure that you have the right internet connection. Okay, because you will be taking this test, it takes 3 hours. So you need to make sure that you have a good connection, a good quality of internet connection when you are taking the test. Okay. uh, okay, so let's check the system. Okay, you already know which equipment you need to in order to take the home edition. Now you will download a system, the system to run the test, and it's the ETS test browser. You will full install this system on your computer, okay? And after you install it, you will need to download it to your computer, okay? Also, you need to run the Proctor use system, okay, check on your computer. This system will check all your equipments that you need for the test, okay? Um, and that's gonna be conducted. This test will be conducted by the ProctorU system, which is the institution. ProctorU is the institution who is in partnership with ETS administrating this online test. So let's talk about the day of the test. So you know you have all the equipment, you have a good connection, you have registered for the test. So now you're ready. So um, uh, it's important to get your environment, your room ready for the test. Okay. For example, first thing, you need to be alone in this place, in this room that you chose to take the test. Uh, Preferably, this place needs to be at home. This room needs to be at home. Because at home you have more, how can I say, possibility to be alone without anybody. So don't go outdoors or public spaces to take the home edition. Okay, it's not permitted. Uh, your computer must be on an empty desk or table. Okay, the area around your desk must be clear of known testing items. So anything that you know, anything that you believe that's not going to be part of the test, okay? So put everything away, okay? And you also must sit in a standard chair, okay? And you will allow you to be focused on the screen of the test, okay? So you don't, so you feel comfortable and you focus on the keyboard and on the screen, okay? Dress appropriately, okay? And your ears cannot be covered, not by hair, hat, headset, okay? Uh, Religious or cultural headwear is subject to inspection. So the proctor will ask you to make an inspection of this object, okay? Avoid wearing accessories, for example, necklaces, uh, watches, and earrings, okay? So note-taking materials. So what type of note-taking materials you will need to do the TOEFL home edition? So you know that when you go to a testing center, okay, you use scratch papers. The monitor, the proctor will give you a scratch paper and a pencil. So for the home edition, it will be a little bit different, okay? And this is for security reasons. The proctor needs to make sure that you erased all the annotations, all the notes that you took. So in order for him to have to make sure that all the notes were erased, okay, you can use either a small whiteboard like this one, okay. Not everybody is not everybody that has a small whiteboard like this one, okay. But if you don't have the small whiteboard, you can use a transparent sheet protector, just like in this short video here, uh, that you will put the scratch paper inside, okay, the sheet, okay? And then after you put the scratch paper, and it can be white, or either white or blue, okay? Then you can take your notes here, okay? Like this one. And make sure that you use a pencil that is erasable, okay, that you can erase after you took your notes. Okay, so starting your test. So when you register for the test, you will receive, okay, an email from ProctorU, okay, for you to log into your Proctory account and then to have access to the link to start to take the test. Okay, so this is the screen that you will see. Okay, you will have the time here remaining for your test. So we suggest that you are 15 minutes, I mean, that you are on time in front of the computer to start your test, okay? Because if you are more than 15 minutes late, your test can be canceled, okay? So it's important to be there on time. Okay, so to start your test, you will have the check-in procedure, okay? And that time is not gonna be counted on the test time, okay? It's the check-in procedure. What they do during this check-in? So the proctor you will ask you to show your ID, and you will show you on through the camera, okay? He will make sure that the same person that is registered for the test is the same person that is on the screen and the same person that is on the document, okay? It will also show your computer screen using a small mirror or your mobile phone. So why do you need to show your computer screen? Just to make sure that you don't have any tabs open besides the one that is running the test. Okay, and also you will show your room with a 360-degree view, okay, to the proctor. He will also ask you to show under the table, just to make sure that everything is correct. And when you finish your test, you will see both the reading and listening scores. Your scores on the reading and listening will show up. I mean, will pop up on the screen. You have these unofficial scores because the scores of the reading and the listening are rated by computer by a computer. So that's why you have it right away. Okay. For the speaking and the writing, okay, it's different because human raters uh, evaluate your answers, so that takes time. So you will receive your scores after 6 days, 6 to 10 business days. Okay. You have the option to report or cancel your scores. We recommend that you don't cancel your scores. Okay, even if you didn't take the desirable score, the required score. Okay, you have the option to use the my best scores and do a second time and take the test a second time, and then choose the best scores to be sent to the institutions. Okay, you need to erase any notes in view of the proctor. So remember the sheet protector that you use. So you're going to erase all the notes that you made on that sheet protector on the screen. I mean, in front of the proctor. Receiving your TOEFL scores. You will receive your official scores in 6 to 10 business days. Okay. Scores are sent to institutions you select during registration. So with the fee of the test, you will select, you are able to select up to 4 institutions for you to be sent your scores. A reminder that you can select these institutions one day before the test. Okay, to be exact, 10 p.m. okay, of prior to the test, okay, previous night, you can choose these institutions. Okay, and they can be included on the fee of the test. Okay, after that, if you didn't choose, you can order scores, okay, through ETS contacts. And the scores are valid for 2 years, okay? The TOEFL IBT test scores are valid for 2 years. We know that you need to make sure that you have everything correct, everything right in terms of equipment and environment and registration. So we developed a checklist, TOEFL at home checklist for you to make sure that everything is right. That's right. And this is the link for the checklist. And I will be sharing this link later. Okay, let's check the time. It's 6:32 here in Brazil, and it's 4:32. I think it's 4:32 or 5:32 in Chile. So let's talk about TOEFL IB. Let's talk about prep material. Okay, prep and resources for you to prepare for the test. Uh, TOEFL IBT makes available a big variety of prep material, okay, on its official websites, okay. And I really encourage you to look for the free options, okay, because they are very well designed, okay, for you to prepare for the TOEFL IBT, okay. And this is one example of a free option to prepare for the test. This is called the Insider's Guide. It's a TOEFL mock. It's free, it's self-paced, which means that you receive all the classes and all the videos and all the content through your email, and then you can study on your pace, okay. And it's designed by the the experts who created the TOEFL test, okay. It has introduction to the test, and each section, okay, has a mix of text, short video lectures, sample questions from past tests, okay. And you can receive a scaled score range for the speaking and writing practice questions, okay. So you can register for this course for free, okay, here on the TOEFL Insider's Guide, and I really encourage you to take a look at this material. The other ones that are free, prep free, okay, it's this free practice TOEFL practice test. It's 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 not an official test, but it's designed for you to practice, okay, for the test. And it's a full test with all 4 sections and real past test questions, okay. You can view correct answers in the reading and listening sections, and listen to sample speaking responses, and read sample writing responses. The other one that I really like to use here in Brazil, I used to prepare for the TOEFL IBT, give TOEFL prep courses, and I use this one, the TOEFL test planner, with my students. It's really um, um, how can I say, useful for you, because it gives you an idea of planning. It helps you to plan, because we know that taking a test like the TOEFL IBT test, this high level of English test, and you need to make, you need to be to plan, okay, for this for studying for the test. It's a study plan. So this is a wait 8-week preparation plan, okay, that you can use to be prepared for the test. It has it has tips and activities to build your skills. So this is a TOEFL. This is the web page for the material. Okay, you can find uh, several types of prep material. This one is the TOEFL Practice Online. It simulates the TOEFL IBT test, give you scores and feedback for each of the 4 skills. Okay, and this one has a cost, and you can options for this test include complete tests, half tests, or just the speaking tests. This is the official TOEFL IBT official page, okay, for test takers. It's the TOEFLGoAnywhere.org, okay. It's a very, very well designed website that you will find everything related to the TOEFL IBT, including all the prep material. Another option that I really encourage you to use for practicing for the test is this series of video. It's called Inside the TOEFL Test. Okay, you can find easily on the YouTube channel. Okay, it gives an in-depth look at the reading, listening, speaking, and writing questions, and you can you can see that this guy here, he is Michael, he works for ETS. So he presents, for each part of the test, he presents question structure, scoring criteria, sample responses, and skill building tips. Okay. So, okay, so this is the some other links, okay, for additional information and assistant. This is the link for the TOEFL Special Home Edition. This is the link for important updates about the TOEFL IBT and the COVID-19 in Chile. And this is the contact, the TOEFL Home contact, okay, from ETS. And also, I'll be sharing the upcoming TOEFL webinars where you can find more information about the TOEFL IBT and the TOEFL Home Edition. Okay, so I think this is all for today in respect of content. We have the next 19 minutes, not 19, it's 20 minutes for questions. Okay, and please, I encourage you to visit the TOEFL IBT for test takers. Okay, this is the website, and this is my email address. If you have further information, if you need assistance with the TOEFL IBT or the GRE, okay, just please contact me. It'll be a pleasure to respond any question that you might have. Okay. So Claudia, I think right now we can start answering the questions that we might have. So should I stop sharing my screen? I think so, right? Are you there? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hi. Adiane, I just put a question there. I don't know if you can see it. From Martha.
Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I think I already did it, right? Or not? Okay, stop screen. Okay. So I don't see the question here.
No, you don't? Okay. I have one that says, I created my ETS account using one last name, but my ID shows my 2 last names. Is that okay?
Sorry, Claudia. Now I see the question. It's right here in front of me.
Don't
I
worry.
don't
It
know
takes a few
why.
seconds.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful and well-designed spot for the questions. I didn't know that was, but yeah. Okay, I created so much. Martha, thank you so much for your question. So you created your ETS account using one last name, but your ID shows your 2 last names. Is that okay? Um, Uh, yes, if you use it your first name, okay? If you use it your first name, and if it shows up as two last names, they will consider first name and last name, okay? So yes, it's okay, okay? So but it's important that your first name is on your ID, your first name, okay? Your first name needs to be there, not only your two last names. But if you have your first name and two last name, it's okay. I'm hoping that I was able to answer your question. Yes, you may take your test in the dining room, okay? Um, um, but it's really important that this dining room, you are alone in this dining room, okay? And nobody interrupts you because nobody can be in the room with you. So if you have the chance, if you are able to tell the your family, the people who live with you, to not come to the living room, yes, it's okay. It doesn't matter where you take your test at home, as long as a place that you are alone and that it's a quiet place and it's a private place and that you have a good connection of internet. Thank you, Miguel, for your question. Hi, Karen. Thanks for your question. Thank you. Um, I would like to know more about my best TOEFL. You mentioned before. Is that option available for IBT in general or just for taking home IBT? That's a very good question, Karen. It is the My Best Score option. My Best Scores option is available. You can use it for both home edition and testing center, okay? And the test that you take at a testing center, okay? It's used for the test in general. Okay. But it's important, Karen, that you when you're applying for a program, for a scholarship program, when you're applying, you ask the institution if they receive these option, okay? They don't there's no reason for them not to receive the My Best Scores, but it's always good to ask, okay, just to make sure that you don't just to make sure that everything is correct. So I recommend you to first ask the institution that they are receiving, because this is a new thing. It's a new improvement on the TOEFL IBT. So there might be some institutions that might don't have that in their system. So it's always good to ask first before sending you My Best Scores. Okay, now I have another question from Ignacio, and I don't see the question anymore. Yes, it's here. Thank you for your question, Ignacio. Ignacio asks, what happens if my internet connections fails during the test? That's a very good question. So we all know that when we're dealing with technology, we can experiment issues, right? Problems. And ETS is aware of that, okay? So they were equipped, they are prepared for any type of problem that might happen and that you might face. So the team of ProctorU, which is the team that will be administering the test at home, they will make sure that they can solve the problem right away. If it's a problem that they can solve right away, okay, they will solve it and everything will be okay, and they will not uh, take the time. Okay, they're not include that the time that you there was waste during the technical issue. But if it's a problem that takes a long time to fix, so then they will give you the option. They will let you to reschedule your test. Okay, if it's a problem that proctor you uh, observes that is a problem with the system. Okay, we always encourage you, like I said, please just make sure that you have a good connection, because this is a 3-hour test. You need to be connected during 3 to 4 hours, because you will have the check ID procedure and then 3 more hours for the test. So it's really important that you choose a place that you will have a good connection. But if you lose your internet, okay, so then when I took my test, I have an example. When I took my test from home, from my home, I lost connection for like 5 seconds, okay, and then I I got the connection again, and it didn't. I didn't. That time, how can I say? I went. I back to the question that I was answering, so I didn't lose any content of the test. They are able to put you in the question that you were when you lose connection. Juliana, thank you for your question, Juliana. She asks, can I take the test after September 30th? Juliana, as I mentioned on the slide, the TOEFL IBT Home Edition will be available through September 30th, but ETS is working very, very close with each country to monitor the COVID situation in each country. So it will depend on the situation of Chile, okay, in order for you to be able to take the home edition after September 30th, okay? It will depend on the COVID situation in Chile, because you might have testing centers open in Chile right now, but the home edition will be available even if the testing center is open. Okay. And if it's not available, if you don't have testing centers available, you can take the TOEFL home edition. And we don't have, I cannot answer this question right now for you to tell you, yes, you can take the test after September 30th, because it will depend on the situation after this date. Okay. So Isidora, thank you for your question. Hi, I have the same question as Juliana. Can I take the test after September 30th? And the requirements, rescheduling in those topics will be the same after September 30th. Yes, like I said to Juliana, it will, I encourage you to see the updates on the TOEFL website, official website, okay? And they will be providing all the information about the TOEFL IBT Home Edition in Chile, in Santiago or other state, other city in Chile, okay? So I cannot assure that the home edition will be available after September 30th, because we need to monitor Chile in respect to the COVID-19. Okay, but it's important that you know that after September 30th, you have the option, the testing center, if they are open, you will have that option, okay? Because if the home edition is not available after September 30th, it's because the testing centers will be open normally, okay? And if they are not open normally, then the home edition will extend. The date for the home edition will be extended. So Josefina asked, what if I want to send my results to more than 4 institutions? Oh, very good question, Josefina, and thank you. Uh, uh, you have the option to request scores, okay? After you take the test, after you use those 4 scores, because the test is valid for 2 years. So let's see that if you want to send for 6, 7, 8, you have there is a cost for additional scores of $20, okay? And you can request the additional scores on the home edition on the TOEFL IBT um, um, website, okay? So yes, you can order, you can send more scores to more institutions. Florencia, thank you for your question. Florencia asks, from what age can one take the test? Um, the TOEFL IBT is used for a higher education needs, higher education applications. But if you are in high school, if you are 14, 15, 16, you can take the TOEFL, but it's usually 16. 16 years old is the age, okay? Because when you are 16, you are in that age that you are preparing for university studies. So usually it's 16 years old, okay? But you can prepare for the test if you are younger, okay? That's not a problem. You can prepare for the test. It will depend on your needs, okay? I know students, they are in their first year of high school, they are 14, 15, and they are studying for the TOEFL because they want to go study abroad, um, and they are preparing. They have TOEFL prep courses in their school. So, but for taking the test, I'm almost sure that you need to be 16. Inacio asked, am I allowed to have a water bottle? Yes, yes. But make sure that your water bottle is transparent so the monitor can see your water, okay, through the glass, okay? But yes, you please, you need to take lots of water. You need to have lots of water, okay, to get hydrated. Here in Brazil, it's really hot right now, and we need to drink water, lots of water. You cannot bring food, but yes, you can have water during the test. Sophia, thank you for your questions. Sophia asks, can I have my mobile phone with me to have a good internet connection? No, mobile phones are not allowed when you are taking the TOEFL IBT at home. You must turn off your mobile phone. Actually, you are only going to use your phone if you don't have a mirror in the beginning of the test to show your screen to the monitor, to the proctor, okay? And the proctor will ask you to turn off and put away your cell phone. So no, you cannot use your mobile phone while you're taking the test, the home edition. And one more thing, for you to make sure that you will have a good connection during the test, ask everyone that is in the house to turn off their cell phones, turn off anything they are doing in other rooms, for example, watching series or anything, it's it's really important that only you are using the internet while you are taking the test, just to make sure that you won't lose your connection. Any other question? Yes, Matthias. Thank you for your question, Matthias. I would like to ask you about some advices from improving the writing part. And how are the texts that we have to write in the writing part? Are they only academics? Thank you for question, Matthias. Yes, the texts are the texts that are used on the TOEFL IBT test. They are all taken from no academic textbooks. So that's the source where the texts are taken, okay, from. So the content is all academics, but uh, you don't need to be an expertise on the subject of the text, okay? You don't need to study any type of academic subject. What you need is to learn this writing strategies, okay? Those strategies that you use to organize your text, to talk about the main ideas, your grammar, your vocabulary. Um, so have a clear English, be objective of you want to say. And during the integrated part, because there are two types of essays that you will write. One is the independent writing, the independent task, which is just one question, a familiar question. It's a question about a familiar topic that you will answer and you will give your opinion. Um, the other one is an integrated task. And with this integrated task, you will have one audio, okay, to listen to, and it's usually a lecture, part of a lecture, or a conversation between students or between a professor and a student. And you will summarize, you will be asked to make a summary of the information and ask the question, okay? I'm sorry, answer the question that is asked. So it's usually it's always a summary that you need to make, a summary on your text. And yes, it's 100% academic. So you need what is academic language? Okay, academic language is that language that is clear, it's formal. Okay, it's not a complicated language, but it's intelligible and objective and clear language. Okay, that you use to express your thoughts and express your ideas. And you can please send me email, and I can send you more information about the writing part. Okay, Matthias? Matthias, thank you so much. And I will be sharing. I think I can share right now the links. Let me see that I'm able to do that. Thank you, Matthias, for your question. So while I get the next question, I will share all the links that I used during the presentation. Let me know if you received, oh, I don't think you received it correctly. No. Claudia, did you receive the links correctly? I don't think so.
Maybe not, but you can send it to me and then I'll post them right here.
Perfect. Send it right now through email.
Yeah, go ahead. Or email or yeah.
Perfect. I will
No
send the
problem.
email. And while I am answering Miguel's question, I will be sending to you. So,
Thank you.
hi, Miguel again. What score do universities usually ask for? That's a very good question, Miguel. So, the TOEFL IBT scores goes from 0 to 120, okay? And you don't need to show a 120 score to the universities, okay? Mostly, okay, from the experience that I have with universities out there, and not only American universities, but also universities from Australia, Canada, UK, they require between 70 and 90, okay, most of the institutions. But of course, there are those top universities such as Harvard, okay, MIT. So depending on the program that you want to study, they will ask for a 120, 110 to 120. Okay. And that means let me tell you, Miguel, back to the score question. From 70 to 90, that's an intermediate level of English, okay? Intermediate to high intermediate level of English. And from 100 to 120, that's an advanced level of English, okay? Okay, I'm going to the next one, but before I'm going to send the links to Claudia here. Okay. Okay, Matt, I'm going to answer the question again. Miguel, okay, there's no question so far, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going and send the links to Claudia. Ok, let's see. Apresentação, becoming a nurse. Yes. Okay, Claudia, just sent to you. So let's see if there is another question here from Education
Yes.
USA.
We have another question. Let me see. There you go.
Okay. Josefina. Okay. Thank you, Josefina, for your question. So Josefina asks, the results of the test are going to be sent to the institutions immediately after they are officials, or when we send the application? Immediately, or when we send the application. They are sent from 6 to 10 days, they are sent to the institutions. So when you are sending your application, they perhaps they already received your scores, okay? Because it's not you that send your score, but it's ETS that sends your score to the institutions. So it goes directly from ETS to the institution. So that can be faster than your application process. Okay, let's see if we have another question. And Claudia, you can feel free.
Yeah,
okay,
here.
you don't have more questions.
Yes. Let me see. So I'm sending the links right now. I think you can see them, right? Let me see. There you go. On the chat, I will send them one by one so people can can actually open them, and maybe they can copy them to their browsers. Maybe
Okay.
just 1 second. There you go. That's the second one. And a couple more that you sent about regarding requesting special accommodations as well. That actually, I have a question on that. So when do you require? When do you request special accommodations?
Uh, you require when you are registering for the test. So during your registration and prior to the test, it's there is you have a certain amount of days because they have to get ready. They have to get the testing center ready for you in order to have this special accommodation. I would say I don't know exactly, but I would say that at least at least 15 days prior to your test. I don't have exactly uh, the amount of days that you have to send this before your test, but when you're registering for the test, make sure that you register at least uh, you register at least 4 months before you need to send your score. Okay. So I would say that when you're registering and you have your ID with you, the ETS ID, you do that right away. Okay. Just to make sure that the testing center is ready for you. Okay.
So maybe to request them in advance, basically. You know,
Yeah,
just make
requesting it.
sure. Mm-hmm. And
Exactly.
regarding the same request for the home edition, can they do that? Can they have maybe more time to answer, or other
Yeah, yes, the special accommodations is
special accommodations?
available for both versions. Okay, the
Okay,
testing center and the home
super,
edition.
perfect. There's the other link that you sent me, and the final link is about more teams to improve your skills. Please visit, and I'll put it right here now.
That's a very
And there you go.
I really like
Mm-hmm.
that link because it brings you. I was gonna be sharing some of these building tips, but I was like, no, I think that if I send the link, I think they will see all of them because it's a very good number of tips for you to improve your skills,
Mm-hmm.
especially the speaking and the writing that we know there are more challenging, right? It's really good tips that you can get from that link.
Okay, perfect.
And
Thank you.
they are all official links, all
Mm-hmm.
TOEFL official links. Okay, they all come
Okay.
from the website. They all updated information.
Okay, perfect. And the last thing is just to clarify about the internet connection. So basically, the students need to have cable or Wi-Fi then only. They cannot have their phone as a source of internet connection.
No, no, it has to
Okay.
be, yeah, cable or Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I think that's it.
Okay.
Anybody have any other questions? I think that's it for today.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's a pleasure to, uh, to share this information and to get you updated with all this important information that we know that schools are closed and there are some institutions that they have closed registration, closed applications, but we know there are they are after September they will start with application and you need to be ready for these applications, and it's important to know that you have these options to prove your language proficiency, your English proficiency. And was my pleasure to be here sharing this important information. And I want to thank you very much, Claudia, for this opportunity, for Education USA in Chile, for this opportunity. And please, whenever you need me with these informations, just let me know. You know how to find me.
Thank you so much, Adiane. You know what? We have a question, last couple of questions that arrived, and
Sure.
I think you already answered one, but I'm going to send it anyway. It's regarding if it's going to be available after the pandemic situation, the home edition.
Uh, that's a question that we we always have. We always have this question because we know that it's a very good option, especially for those people who live in areas where there is no testing centers, right? There is no TOEFL testing center. It's very practical for them, very convenient for them to not travel, to not fly somewhere to take the test. But what I can tell you, Matthias, right now, as of today, is that TOEFL IBT Special Home Edition will be available until September 30th. And ATS will monitor Chile's situation. And depending on the number of the testing centers open or closed, they will make it available. But I cannot tell you, I cannot assure you that yes, you'll be able to take the test after September 30th. So it will depend on the COVID situation, because testing centers, they do a great job on administrating uh, TOEFL tests. So if they are open, there is no reason to keep the home edition, because the home edition was a solution for was a solution for the COVID situation. So if we don't have any issues, any COVID issues, so uh, 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 right now what I can tell you is that uh, uh, we don't know, because it will depend. There in September, they will evaluate the situation in Chile, and they will be updating this information on the TOEFL, a home edition that I just shared with you. Okay. What is the cost of the test, Maria? Thank you for your question. So in Chile, each country, it's a different fee. So I know that Chile is $240. And I didn't have time to calculate that in your currency, but it's $240. And if Claudia could help me with that, I know how it would be in reais, which is the Brazilian currency, but I don't remember how it would be in Chile. But it's $240 in Chile. How will they send my scores? Uh, they will send uh, because when you register with the TOEFL IBT, you provide all your information. Okay, you provide your number, your email address, you provide uh, uh, you provide everything about you, basic information, your basic information. So when you finish the TOEFL IBT, okay, uh, actually when you before you take the test, you choose when you there is a place on your account, on your TOEFL account, where you will choose these four institutions. Okay, that there is a list of thousands of universities around the world which receives the TOEFL, which accepts the TOEFL score, and each one has a code, which is called DI code. So this code means that this institution accepts the TOEFL scores, okay? Accept TOEFL scores. So when you press there the name of the institutions, automatically will appear the name or the code, and then you will press and you will register that institution, and ETS will learn that those institutions that you chose, they will send your scores to those institutions that you chose. Okay, so you have to do that prior to your test on your account, on your ETS account. There you will find a place, a link to send scores, and there you'll find the names of all the institutions. Let's say that you already know the institution that you want to send your score. So then you choose the name, you click on that institution, and automatically it will be sent to the institution. They will receive your score.
Thank you so much, Adiane. Okay, I was calculating. Sorry. Now I
Thank
sent it there.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome,
So
awesome.
that's the amount. And again, we don't have any more questions. But again, thank you so much for the
Thank
presentation.
you.
It was very good information, and I hope you have a great rest of the week and stay healthy.
I'm very happy. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that I could provide this information to your students, professors, advisors. Very happy to be able to do that. And thank you so much again for you and for Education USA in Chile and for all your team. That I know that there is a big team behind you and that you got everything right and you could be sharing this information here. And anytime when you need me, you know where to find me. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for
Thank
being
you
for
so
watching
much.
this webinar. And anything that you need, just send me an email. Bye bye. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Danny. Bye bye.
Bye bye.